Hello, hello, and welcome back to 2025, everybody. I see some faces. Some people are a bit shy to reveal themselves. No, I think they're all actually AI meeting note people. People, I should say. Hope everyone had a great break and some recharge time and friend, family, eating, maybe drinking, maybe swimming, maybe on holidays. We'll just wait a little bit longer while the extras come into the session. Okie dokie. I think we might kick off. So, welcome back, everybody. As I said, hope you all had some great breaks and looking forward to tearing into things. A lot of you might still be on a quasi holiday, so thank you for joining us and hope the year is starting off pretty well for you. Just a reminder, in case you don't know, I'm Justin McMurray. I'm one of the venture builders at Beanstalk and happy to be steering this cohort meetup today. Before we kick off, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet. I'd like to acknowledge the Dharawal people, who are the traditional custodians of the land where I'm speaking from, around the Illawarra region of New South Wales. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples joining us today. As always, a quick reminder, occasionally there are some external people on this call, although I don't think that's the case today. We are recording the session though, so that if you miss it, you can catch back up on it. Be sensitive about what you share, as always, and feel free to raise your hand or pop something in the notes if you have a question at any point. We've got a little bit of a different cohort meetup today, which I think you'll enjoy. So it might change the tenor of it a little bit. We're up to week 8 of 12. My goodness, where did the time go? So today's session we're calling Birds of a Feather, and you'll get to meet and chat to a bunch of other innovators, which will be really good. Next week, just as a heads up, we're going to be focusing in on phase 2 selection process. So as many of you, all of you should be aware, phase 1 is the current 12-week kind of shorter sprint to assess the commercial validity of your innovation. Phase 2 is where things get serious, where up to 4 ventures get selected for an 11 to 12 month period of time, which includes some extra funding and support. So we want to go through in a little bit more detail what the selection process is and some of the criteria around that, so you have a lot of clarity going into the last weeks of this program. We'll go through a very quick ecosystem update today and a little bit of a poll, and then we'll break out into the Birds of a Feather groups to meet some more of your fellow innovators and share what you're up to and talk about your work and some of your challenges. And then we'll wrap up with the week ahead. So actually, I might hand it straight across to Ben, who can do a very lightweight, easy poll to get us rolling to this year. Ben.
Thank you, Juz, and hello, everybody. So we're going to start with a little poll. You should have the link in the chat. Also, the code is here on the screen I'm sharing. We'd love to sort of hear what you all got up to over the summer break. As Juz said, hopefully there was a bit of either swimming or walking or relaxing and eating, that sort of thing. But with respect to your ventures, was there any activity happening there, and what sort? So as you fill this in, we'd love to sort of hear more. So feel free to raise your hand if you wanted to maybe do a shout out for your, maybe you've got a new website you've just launched, or maybe a new MVP, or should say the first MVP that you want to tell everybody about and give us an update. We'd love to hear. Really interesting to see four votes on the MVP option. Does anybody want to share some updates there? Any brave people out there who want to share?
Where?
Georg, are you on the call? I think we saw something in Slack about some work you've done recently.
Yeah.
Just to dot one person in.
No, that's okay. It's all good. Sorry, I had a little bit internet issues, so I'm still trying to get through it. Yeah, so my co-founder Roland, who's on the call as well, was working really in tireless hourly on our MVP, and he was setting up the communications on our product. So we have a sensor unit and a home-based unit that need to communicate with each other, of course. And he did some really great testing. So first he got it working. And then we set it up at the neighbor property. It was like 450 Ks through bush and a little bit hilly connecting, and it worked. And then he did a proper test. Or the next testing was he put a station up at one ord and was driving around with the car to see what radios that will work. And yeah, it was quite successful with that, because we can, in the chip setting, he told me we can have different settings. Of course, higher communication needs, or longer communication needs more power. So it's a trade-off. But yeah, it was really successful, and we're quite happy about that it works as we going along. And he's, I can say as well, at the next time was setting up the CNC machine, because we will manufacture ourselves for the first units till we reach a certain threshold, and was quite successful as well. So it was flat out for him at the time.
Great. Thanks for the update, Georg. Thanks for sharing. I can see a couple of new websites have launched, Scan Farming and Droid Map. That's terrific. And it looks like a couple of people were able to nab a few customer interviews over the summer break as well, which is a tall order. Anybody want to share some of their experiences there? Hopefully it wasn't a Christmas Day phone call or something like that. Alrighty. Well, thanks everybody for sharing. And yeah, we're looking forward to pushing these things along in the new year. I might hand back to you, Juz.
Thanks, Ben. I actually wouldn't mind hearing just quickly from James and Ryan. You've spun up 2 new websites. Like, could you share? Like, was that like a quick experimental thing? What platform did you use? Or like some website updates, was it a torturous multi-week or month affair to sort something out? Ryan, do you want to jump in with a quick update on yours?
Yeah, definitely. It's been on the back burner for ages. We threw one up when we first started, kind of this time last year. Then we spent a heap of time on product, and we had this terrible landing page. And we both hated it. And we finally said, right, let's dedicate a few weeks to it. So we had a few weeks. I went around to Lockie's place, and we just kind of knuckled down. Yeah, Lockie did all the tech stuff, but in terms of wording, and we spent a bit of time together. But yeah, pushed it out yesterday, Arvo, and we're pretty happy with it. So yeah, there you go. Yep.
Nice. And what platform did you build it on?
Great question for Lockie. I don't know the answer to it. So yeah, a good one. It looks good.
Yeah, well, it does look good. Yeah, you can come back to us on that. James, do you want to give us a quick heads up on the Droid Map? What you spun up?
Yeah, we had a placeholder landing page that we put up sort of nearly 18 months ago that was super generic and just we're coming soon. So we were super keen ahead of the Beanstalk social media announcements to have a website up so that when people came to visit, there was something meaningful there. So Ben, my co-founder, and I did a bit of a sprint just before you posted those messages on LinkedIn, and we managed to get something stood up that's a bit more representative of what we're building at this point. And that went really well. So last week we've been tracking our analytics. We got 83 page views, which is up from the 1 to 5 we were getting each week before that. So yeah, it's been really positive.
Oh, awesome! That's a huge growth rate. So nice work, looking good, and nice idea to put in a little cap for your interest form in there as well. Guillermo, did you have a quick update on any similar thing?
Yeah, we just posted. We haven't launched it really, but with the website we tweak it a bit. But we also in the MVP we went through the third round of iteration of the hardware. So how it looks, we shrank it even further, our sensor for measuring soil moisture. So that happened over Christmas, and now we are fitting the new electronics in. So we're quite excited about this new iteration of the hardware. We need to go for testing the field. This one, we are testing the previous generation at the moment. So yeah, we're advancing little by little in getting the product out.
Nice work, nice work. Well, I did expect a few more people to be selecting recharge out of that list. So good to hear some people have made some progress. Okie doke, we'll just jump back into the slides. And birds of a feather, as I said. So look, this is going to be a great opportunity to mix with some other people in the cohort. We're going to be splitting up into some thematic groups for the next 40 minutes or so. So you should see on the screen some of the groups that we've broadly split you up into. I mean, they are very broad, so I still think there's going to be plenty of overlap if it's not the perfect theme. So you can see we've got one which is broadly about circular economy. Actually, we've got two groups that are broadly about the circular economy, maps and AI. We've got an IoT theme, a livestock one, and one we've called sort of decision support, so farming decision support, which is an interesting mix of people. So have a look. You should all see your names in there, just so you can get a heads up and just have a quick scan of which group you are likely in, and you can see some of the other names of the ventures from the cohort that will be joining those various groups. So in a minute, we'll be going into breakout rooms, and I'm sure Microsoft Teams will handle this flawlessly like ever. If there are any issues with where you end up, just send us through a message. There will be a Beanstalk Venture Builder in each one of those groups, and they'll help facilitate the session. But it's a very, very simple format. We're just going to spend about 10 minutes where everyone will get the chance just to introduce themselves. You're likely going to be speaking or meeting with some innovators who you haven't met with before. So it's a great chance just to introduce yourself and introduce your venture or innovation. And you just have 1 or 2 minutes to do that. If you're not sure what else to share, I'd definitely encourage you to share like what you're working on right now, or what your biggest challenge is right now. Because what we're going to do after that is open up the discussion for 30 minutes or so, where people will perhaps talk about some of their bigger challenges and just invite some input from the other members of the group. Everyone's come from such different backgrounds and different industries and are at different stages of development. So really this is about like just sharing some information and experiences and insights or suggestions or anything like that. So we really encourage you to participate fully in the group and just, have some fun hearing about what the other cool people are doing in here. There will be a couple of prompts that the venture builders can refer to if needed. And if there are any problems in the groups or a venture builder doesn't magically appear in your group, I'm sure you'll be able to run it for yourselves. But yeah, we've got about 35 to 40 minutes in total. So yeah, the round of intros and then the open discussion. So Ben, are we good to start sending people off into their groups?
Fingers crossed, yes. So I will send people into rooms. I'm going to stay in the main room, and so I'll be running a session in the main room. And so if there's anybody else that doesn't end up getting pushed out, I'll be there to pick you up and push you swiftly into the correct room, hopefully. So yeah, have fun, everybody.
All right, have we got everyone back? I think we do. Okay, well, I hope you got the chance to have some interesting chats with other people in the cohort, or potentially just, I had a very lovely intimate group of 3, which was excellent. So we got to dive fairly deep into some things. So even meeting a different venture builder and getting a different perspective was valuable. So that was our little birds of a feather session, and hopefully there'll be other chances down the track just to meet a couple of different types of the innovators in this cohort. We've just got a couple of minutes left, so I'll just quickly wrap up with the week ahead. As I said, we're up to week 8. We're past halfway. Given that week 6 and 7 were sort of these holiday weeks, we're rapidly progressing towards week 12. And as you know, we're getting into the business end of the cohort, which we'll look at in one tick. So this week, as usual, there'll be your one-on-one catch-ups. I think there's 1 or maybe 2 venture builders who are away at the moment. So a couple of you will be seeing some different people on Tuesday or Wednesday. Most of the sessions will just be 30 minutes, although some of them might need to go a little bit longer if there are some thorny things to untangle. And then the big thing for the end of the week is another big pitch practice session. So the exciting news is that we are going to be pulling a few external people, some very interesting people from the industry in to a couple of the groups to have a look at some of the pitches. And it's really good practice for you to be exposed to a wider audience and get some feedback from them as well. So yeah, definitely you'll have the chance to chat through where your pitch is up to, and then work on that for the rest of the week for that pitch practice on Friday. So look out for that new meeting invitation that will hit your inboxes soon. And just a reminder, 8 minutes is definitely the target that you should be aiming for now, and we'll be giving less and less leeway about that. So that should be your target for the 8-minute pitches. I think that is everything that we've got for you for week 8 of the Cohort Meetup. So thanks again. Great to have you back on board, and I hope you enjoy your one-on-ones the next couple of days, and we look forward to your pitches this Friday. So have great weeks, everybody, and thanks for joining. We'll see you around.